Good morning. It's Joe Parchment, the Gourmet Cave Woman. So today I'm just going to make a very short little video about one of my favorite nutritional superfoods, bone broth. Now, there are many different versions of bone broth. There are hundreds of YouTubes about how to make a bone broth. And one of the beautiful things about making bone broth, as long as you stick to the basics, then you can basically be creative and just do your own thing. At the end, the most important thing is that you use grass-fed beef bones, and if you're going to add chicken feet or chicken or pork or veal, you need to make sure it's organic. So those are the basic things, and you need to cook it in your crock pot or an Instapot or a regular stock pot, and you need to cook it for 24 hours minimum. And that's really all. Like in my case today, this is what I've done, and I do it in different ways, but today I'm going to make it fairly simple. I did roast my bones, and as you can see, here is the bone marrow. I prefer to roast my bones because it does give a nicer color and a nicer flavor. And I don't want the bone marrow to get lost in all the liquid. So I'm going to eat the marrow separately a little bit later with just a little bit of salt and a little bit of guava jam, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. I had eaten one in a restaurant a few weeks ago, and it was so delicious. And the essence of the bones, a lot of it is in the bone marrow, so it's extremely nutritious. And in the ancient days, and even not that long ago, in places like Scotland and Wales, you know, the pubs actually offer bone marrow, grilled, broiled bone marrow on their menu. And I'm also going to add garlic, which I've also done in the oven with a little bit of ghee. And so here is my pot with the chicken feet and the bone marrows. I did soak them overnight, and then I poured off the water. I've added a quarter of a cup of apple cider vinegar, which is very important, because apple cider vinegar actually draws out all the minerals and nutritional supplements out of the bones. So after you finish the bone broth, you're not going to taste any vinegar. It's just a quarter of a cup, so it's not really that much. And so now I'm going to get my last look at this. And look at this. Isn't this wonderful? Oh my goodness. And of course, this is totally 100% bulletproof. And for those of you who are coming to my channel for the first time, I'm a complete bulletproof person. I have a very high fat diet and high quality meat. I don't eat a lot of protein. So I'm going to pour this into my pot. And then I will, later on, I don't like to add it at the beginning, but about an hour before I turn it off, which will probably be tomorrow morning, I will add, or maybe late tonight, I will add a carrot, a celery stick, some bay leaf, thyme, and marjoram, and an onion. And you don't have to chop them up fine. You can put them in whole, and then when you're done, you can just take them out with the I even forgot the name of it now. Doesn't matter. You can see it here. So now I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. And I do have a 7-quart crock pot, which always gives quite a lot of liquid. And another good thing about doing the bones in the oven is that a lot of the fat that you don't really want, even though, you know, Bulletproof is a high-fat diet, this is like excess fat. You can just throw that out. And that's basically it. So by tomorrow, I will have some wonderful bone broth. And I'm going to get onto bone broth 4 cups a day during my intermittent fasting stage, which means from 9 o'clock in the evening to 1 o'clock the next day, I don't eat. I just have my Bulletproof coffee, and then I will sip on bone broth. I usually don't eat until about 3 or 4, maybe even longer, and then I'll, have the whole day to have 4 cups of bone broth. And now it's winter coming, and bone broth is so soothing. It heals the digestive system. It's full of amino acids, minerals. It's just a superfood. And I encourage everyone to go onto my website where I do write about it. gourmetcavewoman.com. It'll be at the bottom of this video. And try it out and implement it. It's very budget friendly. I mean, even though bones have gone up in price because of the demand and the shortage of grass-fed bones and organic bones, it is a very, very budget friendly way of adding to your diet. You can add it into using it for soups. I mean, it's just overall an absolutely wonderful way of incorporating an additional superfood to your healthy diet. Or if you're not that healthy in the way you eat, you might want to consider making certain changes. But bone broth is a definite superfood and a definite must. So please be so kind and press the like button and the subscribe button, and bon appetit.